There is a reason why you keep manifesting them and they just stay out of reach. Yes, I'm talking to you where you're trying to manifest either love or a specific person, which could be even non-romantically, and it still is not working and you're disappointed with the law. And no, it's not because the universe is testing you. The universe doesn't care and doesn't test. It's not because you need to affirm harder and you're not good enough at this. And it's definitely not because you're doing the wrong technique. I made a video about it. You can watch it on my channel. Every technique works. Only reason why you didn't manifest your SP yet, or perhaps even other things that you want or love, it's because you're still in search mode. If you want to know more and the science behind waiting and why instead you should stop waiting and embodying and exactly how it works so you can have a shift, a moment that shifts your states and gets you what you want, this video is for you. Hello everybody, my name is Neya, and on this channel I talk everything about manifestation, esotericism, and so much more. On Patreon, I make extra weekly videos where we go more in depth about this topic, and you can even have a private chat with me in our community. The link to participate to the Patreon is obviously down below. And if you guys want to take this step further, you want help from me, I have courses on how to put a spell on a specific person with the law of assumption and, you know, everything that I teach on this channel, how to create abundance, private coachings, readings, and more. Just click on the link down below. And also, I am offering one-on-one coaching and a video call that you can find on my website, neyavisions.com. You select the slots, and yes, we can talk about it. And yes, I can coach you one-on-one. Everything is down below. And now let's get started with today's video. Your brain is still in search mode. Your brain doesn't manifest what it wants. It manifests what it truly assumes and believes in, because the brain only reinforces what you truly expect. And this is a truth that people simply do not want to hear, especially when it comes down to law of assumption community, where you guys sometimes don't want to face the truth because it is harder to change who you are and go towards the unfamiliar and different paths or different way of being and thinking than staying in the same place and then complaining that it doesn't work. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but this is what a lot of people do. They would rather stay exactly who they are, complaining about their circumstances, trying to do a couple of affirmations here and there, not really understanding deeply what they're doing, rather than doing the easiest thing, which is to shift your identity and your expectations. But this is why you have today's video. The majority of people fail to manifest specific people, not because it is hard to manifest them, but because psychologically and neurologically, they are addicted to waiting for them. Or actually, psychologically and neurologically, they are still looking for them. They are still waiting for them. And the moment that you are searching for something which goes beyond just specific people, your nervous system only understands they are not here yet. And the brain's job is so simple. It doesn't manifest what you desire, but it predicts reality based on patterns. Neuroscience, in fact, calls this the predictive processing. Your brain is constantly scanning the environment to confirm what already it believes. That is why it is called the law of assumption. Whatever you assume, and an assumption is nothing but a thought that you keep repeating, therefore a belief, it manifests. It gets mirrored into your reality. That again is because our brain is only scanning the environment to reconfirm what it already has assumed, what it already has believed. So if your dominant state is waiting, checking every tarot reader to tell you and confirm that they love you and they want to come back, obsessing over them, but in a way where, because I'm going to make another video, I'm not sure if I'm going to post this one first or the other, but I'm going to make another video about you should be obsessed with your manifestation, but there is a difference between being obsessed because you already have it and it is so fun to be in the state of having and you're so obsessed with it and obsessed with yourself and your main character energy, and there is a different pattern of behavior and thought and state of consciousness when you are obsessing over your SP, for example, example, because of the lack of not having. That's a completely different state and a completely different reality and perspective. You are looking for signs all over the place. You are reading their messages 10 times or even checking your WhatsApp or Instagram that you are still blocked. When you're doing this, your brain, whether you like it or not, it's not a test, it's just the way that your brain operates. It's only reinforcing one belief. You don't have them, they don't want you, and you're not in a relationship yet. And the identity that your brain is reinforcing is that you're not with them. You are the version of you that identify with not being with them. And by the way, you can apply this even with money. You can apply even with this with success. You just revert the word SP to money or success, and it's still the same pattern of behavior. And let's break it down even better. What does the brain do with that identity of you looking, searching, and waiting around? Very simple. It organizes your reality around it. So you understand how your search and searching for the best technique, the best LOA teacher, the best video, this search, this constant search is actually killing your manifestation. And this is the part that people hate because it hurts their ego. When you keep looking for your SP or for love, you're just not manifesting love. What you're actually doing is feeding dopamine-based attachment, because dopamine, in fact, is the seeking mechanism of your brain, is the seeking chemical actually of your brain. In fact, dopamine spikes when you are anticipating for something, you are waiting for something, and not when you're fulfilled. That is why things like social media, the endless scrolling, Las Vegas slot machines, and so on and so forth, they feed the dopamine spike and they're highly addictive, because every time that you scroll, every time you press the button to hopefully win something, you are in the anticipation mode. And anticipation mode is the dopamine is the seeking chemical effect in your brain. But here is the catch. Neuroscience shows something brutal about our brain. The more you stay in anticipation, the more you are wiring your brain for non-arrival. Isn't that crazy? You're only multiplying what you are actually focusing upon. And this is not just woo and magic or law of assumption, this is neuroscience. So in this way, your brain and your body become addicted to wanting, searching, and seeking rather than having. And that is why it is so difficult for you to break the pattern. That is why, for example, in relationship, and this is a very heavy generalization, so bear with me, but the majority of men usually use a technique, even subconsciously, of push and pull. The reason why a lot of men use push and pull, and also some women, is because it creates this addiction. It creates the addiction of expectation, and therefore they gain control over their victim. Especially toxic men do this, but it is the same exact principle. Your brain is addicted to the wanting and the desiring and the expectation, and instead of being in the state of having. That is why when they finally unblock you, that is why when they finally text you, you get a rush, you get a high, and everything seems so wonderful. And then they stop again, and then the anxiety goes again. This is a common manipulative technique that a lot of people use because it works. And that's the same thing that you're doing to yourself when you are falling victim of this technique, this dynamics, or simply when you're looking to manifest or search for the best technique to manifest your SP. This, my friend, is not love, it's simply a chemical loop. And the problem is your nervous system confuses intensity for connection. And this is where law of assumption is not just a woo-woo or just a spiritual thing because we're manifesting, but it's practically neuroscience. And Neville Goddard was so far ahead of his time because he was just describing the movement of our brain and our consciousness with the parables of the Bible. In fact, Neville Goddard, who was the student of Abdullah, a rabbi that taught him how to read the ancient script of the Bible, and said to him, the Bible is really not about the stories as legends or real facts, but it just portrays to parables and, myths, we could say, more parables, the movement of our brain, the movement of our mind. And if you can read it properly, you can have control over your reality. In fact, a famous quote from Neville Goddard goes, "You do not attract what you want, but you attract what you believe to be true." And emphasis on what you believe to be true subconsciously, your deep assumption. And guess what? What is so surprising about this is that he was right, but he wasn't just right spiritually speaking, he was right neurologically. Because belief is nothing but a thought that you keep repeating that has created a new neural pathway, and a very established one that reflects not only in your beliefs, but how you move, how you behave, and the energy that you emanate into this world. And guess what? The brain just follow that path because it costs less energy. Your brain is so efficient. It's keeping you alive even when you're sleeping. And when it can reserve certain energies and do things unconsciously, he will prefer, the brain will prefer the path of least resistance. The brain always prefers the path of least resistance. That is why changing your state of consciousness and changing self-concept requires consistency. Not effort, but consistency. The more you repeat, why is it not here? Why I'm still blocked? Why there is no one around that fulfills my needs? How long is it going to take? The deeper the neural groove becomes. And to be frank, the harder it becomes to leave that identity. But hey, I'm not here to give you any limiting beliefs. That doesn't mean that you cannot change all of this. You can. And here is the actual secret, and the only thing that you need to do to use The Secret, which is also a famous movie, is just a bit of discipline. If you guys, it's not about putting effort, like I said before, it is about discipline. If you guys do not want to be disciplined and consistent, I am sorry. I'm usually very sweet in my videos. I don't have the styles of other YouTubers. You guys know me. I'm very empathic. Like, I understand where you're coming from. But if you guys do not want to be disciplined, you just don't want it bad enough. You don't want to get the life that you want or the person or whatnot. You're just are lazy. And so you can't complain that then your reality gives you crumbs. Because you're not going to manifest your SP or love or anything else for what matters by just calling them. You manifest your SP or whatever you want by being the person that no longer needs to call them. The moment that your nervous system finally stops waiting around, the moment that your energy finally returns back to self and that identity of, I'm good, I have it, because I am the price, I am a catch, of course they love me. This is when the reality and the dynamic of your relationship collapses and reality reverses back to what you want. Not because they feel your energy magically, but because your entire state of consciousness, your micro behaviors, your thoughts changes, and your reality has to mirror just that. And psychologically speaking, humans react psychologically to that change, and they react in an unconscious way. They are not conscious about it. When a very confident person enters a room, for example, and observes the room, it can spot miles away the person that is confident as them, the energy that they emanate, and this is all happening subconsciously. It's not happening consciously. People can feel psychologically your state of consciousness. And besides human beings feeling your state of consciousness, your reality is wired to mirror your state of consciousness. Psychology, in fact, has a name for this. It's called state-dependent perception. You don't perceive reality as it is, you perceive reality as you are. Isn't that crazy? So when you shift your state, reality rearranges itself according to who you are. This is just cognitive science, not fantasy. Your reticular activating system, and I know that if you are subscribers, by the way, if you're liking this video, subscribe, like, thumbs up. You guys know I'm obsessed with the reticular activating system to the point that my therapist, which I go once in a while, you know, and I tell about my videos and things like that, she's very knowledgeable on this thing. And I mentioned again the reticular activating system. She laughed at me and said, it's okay, we know about the reticular activating system. But seriously, the reticular activating system, what it does, it deletes what doesn't match your dominant thought and your dominant state of consciousness. The reason why it's doing that is because it has to filter reality, and it filters it like a lot. Now I'm gonna give you like a general number. This is not accurate, but let's say that in 100% reality, your reticular activating system will filter 1%, will filter out 99%, and will give you 1%, because you simply will not able to store all the information of 100% reality. Your brain will go in a meltdown. So to avoid that, the reticular activating system will match you with your dominant assumption of who you are, your state of consciousness, and what you deem important, and will show you evidence of that in your reality. Even Joseph Murphy, another great teacher of the law, says in The Power of the Subconscious Mind, he's very notorious, your subconscious mind accepts and manifests what you feel to be true and filters out everything else. So it doesn't manifest necessarily what you repeat, what you wish for, what you hope, but what you expect to be true in your reality. That is why affirmations in and of itself, they don't manifest. Not because they're not a powerful technique. Affirmations are nothing but thoughts. They are not even a technique. The repetition of them should lead you to expect and already subconsciously believe through your state of consciousness that you already have what you want. If the repetition of the affirmation is not doing that, is because you are focusing on the opposite thoughts. So you're repeating the affirmations, but then after 5 minutes of repeating your affirmations, so you are looking around for your SP, looking around for love, you're a fool. You are deleting everything that you have been doing so far, and you are contradicting yourself by serving two masters, as Neville Goddard would put it. Or it could work, but it would work in a very patchy way because you're just not being consistent. It's as simple as that. And this is why techniques fail people. And not a lot of people are willing to say that in this community, because your techniques speak one way and your body is doing the opposite. And I'm sorry, but the body always wins. You cannot lie to your subconscious mind. You have to become a new version of you. And this is another hard truth that people don't want to hear. It's not working because of limiting beliefs. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Some beliefs are not limiting. Actually, I am of the idea that limiting beliefs don't really exist. Trying to affirm while staying emotionally attached to the fact that you don't have it now is trying to build a palace with wet cement. You're not really blocked by your thoughts, you are blocked by your identity. Again, by your state of consciousness. So, long story short, how do we do this, Naya? Can we wrap this up in an easier way to understand? Of course, it's really simple. There are no limiting beliefs. You can use whatever beliefs at your advantage. Everything around you is there to make you manifest what you want. So if you really want to break the pattern of not getting, if you really want to get your SP or anything else, what matters, stop looking around. Stop searching for the best coach. Stop searching for the best technique. Stop scanning. Stop looking for another success story or validation. Stop looking for validations. Because the moment that you are stop looking for love is the moment you embody it. And I'm sorry, the brain only manifests from being, not from wanting. Not from begging, not from affirming all day and believing that you don't have it. So you're affirming out of desperation, not because you are affirming to get into a state. It's a different shift, it's a different perspective. It doesn't manifest from forcing. Again, it manifests from embodying the state of the wish fulfilled. I'm going to say it again. I do use affirmations. I do use robotic affirming, but I don't use to get something. I use them to get me into the state. And the more, so for example, let's say that I want to robotically affirm. The less I give it importance, the more I do it when I'm relaxing, the more my brain is doing it for me. Okay, so the way it's going to look like, it's going to be like you're washing the dishes, you're brushing your teeth, you're taking a shower. You can robotically affirm without even thinking about it too much. Oh, I love me, they want me, they're obsessed with me. I did it for this channel. Like when I got 100,000 subscribers, the only thing that I did was saying everyone is obsessed with me. All my videos go viral. I make money just by being myself. Robotically affirming that, not even thinking about it too much while I was putting my makeup in the morning. However, I didn't contradict the thought. The way I embody in it, it was just by repeating it, and the repetition got me into the state because I wasn't looking around for it. So you can robotically affirm, but then, like let's say in the example of my YouTube channel, I robotically affirmed for 10 minutes, and now I'm gonna look into YouTube analytics to see did my video became viral yet. You're not embodying the state. I robotically affirmed, and then I went out my day, and then when I thought about my YouTube channel, I just repeated the affirmation. This is not just blindly repeating affirmation. This is repeating affirmation to get to a state and embodying that state and keeping that state. That's why you should affirm even once you get the manifestation, because you want to keep embodying the state. I cannot repeat this enough. Affirmations are nothing but thoughts that get you into a state. You need to embody the state. You need to keep the state. And your body has to be in line with what you're thinking. You can't lie to your subconscious mind. I hope I'm being very, very clear here. And I'm sorry to say, but if this video triggered you, if you just want to write down in the comment section, it's full of limiting beliefs, good. That means I got you. Because that only means that your nervous system finally met the truth. So yeah, good that you're triggered, because now that you are triggered and you saw everything that you weren't doing, you can take an honest look at yourself in the mirror, being pissed off with yourself and saying, no more of that, no more looking, scrolling, finding the best tweet about law of assumption, the best success story, and finally consistently embodying the state that will get me there, because in fact, I already have it. I love you guys. I hope this video was really clear. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you next Friday with another video. For all my services, private coaching, one-on-one coaching, and so much more, including my courses and mini courses, all the links are down below, and I'll see you guys also on Patreon. Bye!